Brought to you by Wall Street Prison Consultants.
I'm Olivia, a custody advisor at Wall Street Prison Consultants. Today I'm going to explain federal prosecutors' duties and responsibilities. Federal prosecutors are key players in the U.S. criminal justice system. They are responsible for investigating and prosecuting federal crimes, which can range from drug trafficking and white-collar fraud to terrorism and national security threats. Here are some key points to consider about federal prosecutors. Federal prosecutors work for the Department of Justice, DOJ, and are responsible for prosecuting crimes that violate federal law. Their duties include investigating cases, working with law enforcement agencies, preparing and presenting evidence in court, negotiating plea bargains, and seeking sentences for those convicted of federal crimes. Many federal prosecutors just work for the DOJ to get trial experience before going into private practice. It's important to know that just because a prosecutor believes something to be true, doesn't make it so. Prosecutors will frequently try to flip defendants into becoming informants in order to get a lower sentence. Many of the things prosecutors say are ambiguous, so you should always demand a reduction deal in writing. There are several types of federal prosecutors, including Assistant United States Attorneys, AUSAs, who work in U.S. attorneys' offices around the country and in specialized units within the DOJ, such as the Criminal Division, the Civil Division, and the Tax Division. To become a federal prosecutor, individuals typically need to have a law degree and several years of experience practicing law. They must also pass a background check and meet other qualifications set by the DOJ. In addition to legal experience, federal prosecutors should have strong communication skills, analytical skills, and the ability to work well under pressure. Federal prosecutors work closely with law enforcement agencies, such as the FBI and DEA, to investigate federal crimes. They may use a variety of investigative tools, including subpoenas, search warrants, and wiretaps. Once a case is ready for prosecution, federal prosecutors work to prepare the case for trial, including interviewing witnesses, reviewing evidence, and drafting legal arguments. Federal prosecutors must be skilled litigators who are comfortable presenting complex evidence in court. They must be able to communicate effectively with judges and juries, and be able to adapt to changing circumstances during a trial. Many federal cases are resolved through plea bargaining, in which the defendant agrees to plead guilty to some or all of the charges in exchange for a lesser sentence. Federal prosecutors play a key role in negotiating these plea deals, which can involve balancing the interests of justice with the desire for a speedy resolution of the case. Once a defendant has been convicted of a federal crime, federal prosecutors play a role in recommending a sentence to the judge. This can involve presenting evidence of aggravating or mitigating factors, and arguing for a sentence that is appropriate given the facts of the case. For more information on understanding federal prosecutors, you should consider hiring a prison consultant. Now, let's talk about Wall Street Prison Consultants. Hiring Wall Street Prison Consultants when facing federal criminal charges can provide valuable support and guidance through a complex and intimidating process, and help defendants take advantage of programs offering substantial early release. Here's why someone in this situation might consider hiring them. While there's no shortage of criminal defense attorneys to represent defendants in the courtroom, most attorneys' knowledge of custody ends at the prison gates, leaving clients to fend for themselves after the judge renders sentencing. According to legal statistics, 97% of those charged are convicted, with thousands of white-collar defendants sentenced to federal prison each year, the majority being first-time offenders clueless what to expect upon entering custody. Wall Street's services begin long before a defendant even goes inside, and continues after release. Depending on when retained, they guide clients through indictment, trial, pleas, sentencing, and prison survival all the way through supervised release. By using their services, clients develop an edge when dealing with their lawyers. Wall Street takes the mystery out of the judicial court process by educating clients with easy-to-understand step-by-step explanations on federal criminal statutes, indictments, and how it applies to them, so they can make educated decisions about their case and understand the ramifications of a criminal trial versus taking a plea agreement. As I'm sure you're aware, prisons can be dangerous places, and having knowledge about prison policies, early release programs, medical care, inmate jobs, dealing with gangs, staff interactions, and the basic politics surrounding incarceration are the keys to surviving successfully and returning home safely. Many defendants are often confused listening to lawyers, friends, and family members about what will happen to them and whether hiring a prison survival consultant is helpful at all. While others may have opinions, they are typically not qualified opinions. And once sentenced, it's the defendant's freedom and safety at stake, with everyone else's well-meaning opinions being worthless. When going to prison, knowledge is key, and hiring a prison consultant with facts instead of uninformed viewpoints can be the difference between early release and spending unnecessary time in custody. Wall Street prison consultants have detailed knowledge of both the federal legal system and the inner workings of the federal prison system. Their expertise can demystify the process for defendants and their families and help them prepare for what lies ahead by offering strategies and advice on how to reduce sentencing length through various legal channels and inmate programs, focusing on aspects legal teams might overlook. If a prison sentence is unavoidable, Wall Street prepares defendants for the realities of prison life, teaches them survival tactics, and helps with the emotional transition from freedom to confinement, as well as securing designation to a preferred facility that meets an inmate's needs and aligns with their specific security level or health requirements. Wall Street offers support in planning for life after release, including supervised release requirements and re-entry into society, and doesn't make false promises, but provide a realistic view of the situation and what can be done to mitigate it. While they are not lawyers, they often work in conjunction with legal teams to make sure that all aspects of the defendant's situation are being considered and offer more personalized and continuous support compared to a legal team, especially during the post-trial and imprisonment stages. In essence, they can provide comprehensive support tailored to the unique needs and challenges faced by someone charged with a federal crime, and help them navigate through both the legal and prison systems. It's a specialized service that can add an extra layer of support and guidance that complements the legal defense, but doesn't replace the need for competent legal representation. For more information, contact the director and founder of Wall Street Prison Consultants, Larry Levine, at 213-948-1069, or by email at help@wallstreetprisonconsultants.com. Or visit us on the web at wallstreetprisonconsultants.com.